Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from wherever you're watching this channel. Now, after so many sustained attacks on World Bank, apparently World Bank and IMF has reacted to those claims and confronted Kenya on the debt heist claim. Now, you understand that when the representative of IMF came to Kenya, there was a lot of sharp reaction regarding that move. You also understand that people have been warning John Mbadi against engaging Kenya with IMF, despite the fact that there are a lot of talks that we need IMF for development agenda, but there are people who believe that Kenya can grow without IMF. So I don't know, the debate is still out there. So this could have been the reason why IMF decided to react to this matter. So first of all, I will take you to a tweet that NTV has shared. This is to confirm to you that actually this is happening, because NTV account is the one that shared this story. Now this is what the account says. World Bank, IMF confront Kenya debt heist claim. Okay, and then there are so many people who reacted to this matter, and so many reactions, and those reactions definitely, before I even gave you the reactions, you definitely know that they are not in support of IMF. So before we get further on this analysis, please, ladies and gentlemen, like this video. It's so important if you like this video. I am so grateful for everyone who has been supporting our channel by liking and subscribing. If you wish to support us, just like and subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for your support. You also understand very well that William RUTO headed to China for the FOCAC, which is known as the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation. Because RUTO has headed to China, the coincidence here is that IMF is reacting to Kenya. And the reaction is about the 10.5 trillion debt and reports of hundreds of billions in borrowed money that cannot be traced to any project. In candid response to the nation, it is out there in the public domain that most countries that IMF has been targeting, all the World Bank, most of those countries, they always end up in chaos. You know, chaos because, why am I saying chaos? I'm saying chaos because most of the time you find that citizens don't like the policies which are imposed on them. If you remember, when a day before RUTO declined to sign the finance bill, you know, there was talk about a call, RUTO and Antonio Guterres. There was a call between RUTO and US Secretary of State Anthony Blinken. Then there was a communique or a communication from IMF.
Let me start by expressing our deepest sympathy to the people affected by the tragic events in Kenya. Our hearts go out to those who have lost their lives, lost loved ones, or suffered injuries. With respect to Kenya's broader situation, I think it's important to say that the situation in Kenya reflects broader challenges facing many of our low-income members.
Well, IMF had to come down here and talk to the people, and they said that actually they are not, the main intention is not to make life hard for Kenyans. So that was a reaction from IMF representative. So if you look at these events, you know how they've followed each other. RUTO talking to Antonio Guterres, RUTO talking to Anthony Blinken, RUTO declining to sign the finance bill, and then the IMF representative coming to Kenya and makes a statement, an apologetic statement. So all this, you realize that with what is happening, the debate now that IMF has been lending Kenya, hata kama Kenya haiwezi lipa, it still lends Kenya.
Holy Trinity in his mind are the IMF, the World Bank, and WTO. Those three institutions, he says, and I agree with them, have only one end game: keep them in debt and control and milk them. You see? So that's the reason why you find that IMF has realized that it has to protect its image, and that's why it reacted. It's going to be a bit difficult for John Mbadi, because if I remember the statement by Moses Kuria sometimes back ago,
Moses could have said that Kenya must take that loan. If John Badi is to be safe, then Kenya must take that loan. That is why you find that most people still maintain that John Badi went for the wrong docket. He ought to even have considered a lighter docket, like the Minister for Agriculture, the Minister for, let's say, even Trade, the Minister for Public, those kind of ministries that do not involve a lot. Of course, if you look at the reaction of IMF talking about the debt haste claim, financing ghost projects, maybe IMF is trying to react to the videos that have been circulating about Morara Kibaso, those videos about white elephant projects which have been budgeted for, financed, but have not been done. This kind of projects which don't exist, and you've seen many videos from Morara Kibaso, and he has put the government on check, literally doing the work of an auditor general, So Morara Kibaso could have been the reason why IMF has reacted, because when he does these exposés, he has an illustrated video of what he's talking about. And sometimes he has the factual documents, which I believe there are people within ministries that share with him. For that kind of job to work, he must have insiders. People are feeding him with information. Maybe people even offering him security for him to make such kind of revelations. Because he has talked about a threat to his life. Now, those are things which I suspect could have been happening. Some people from the ministries are feeding him, but they are feeding him for the better, for the good of Kenyans. So it's not a bad thing at all. But the reaction by IMF confronting Kenya debt haste claim, coming at a time where William Ruto has gone to China to secure another loan believed to be for the SGR extension to Kisumu. How is this a coincidence? Why did they release that statement when Ruto was still in Kenya? Why have they chosen to release a statement almost hours after Ruto has jetted out of the country and gone to China? Why is this kind of timing? Now, this latest development are going to put John Badi in a very tight situation. Let's take, for example, if IMF declines to approve the loan. What is likely to happen? If IMF declines to approve the loan, what is going to happen is that the government will increase more taxes, because they say they relied on the loan from IMF. IMF did not give them a loan because of the complaints from the locals.
Of what has been taking place in Kenya, many people have seen, of course, an uprising against a finance bill that was pushed forward by the IMF. And I think the broader role of the IMF in African economies.
Now what's left of them is to increase the taxes so that they can secure more money from the people and sustain those projects, or live within their means and cut their costs according to their sizes. That's the only thing left, ladies and gentlemen. But as it stands, with the ballooning expenditure, Kenya will find itself with more taxes to pay. So perhaps if you're watching this video and have not subscribed, take 1 second and subscribe, like this video. Until you catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.